This conference will now be
That's
recorded.
right. It's gonna be on you since you were distracted. We got to wait till we get fired up here. We're gonna let you pray for us this morning.
Last meeting, I didn't have the camera turned on. But nobody knows.
I know one guy in Unadilla that would have. He watches it. He used to could tell me by lunch on Friday everything that happened.
He
here.
just listened to the last meeting. He didn't get to watch the last meeting. Okay.
You ready to speak? Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
We're about to begin our meeting today. Mr. Burt, the prayer is on you this morning.
Let us pray.
All right.
Gracious God, we come to you and we are thankful for a good day, a day to do the work of the citizens of Dooley County. We pray for those people in our state and in our region who were impacted with the loss of life, loss of property, loss of employment, and others from this storm and from what's yet to be seen from the flooding that's on its way to the southern part of our state. We trust that you will provide and meet those needs and show us as citizens of this county how we can help those who come into contact with us, even in these days after the storm came through, that we can provide your grace to those in need. Pray that you would lead, guide, and direct the people who make the decisions on behalf of the citizens that they serve around this table. Pray for those who would normally be with us but are unable to be with us today. Give them traveling mercies and your grace. In Christ's name I pray.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Burt, for that sermon. That's all. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
I didn't say nothing about the dog pound.
We have before you a proposed agenda. What's the pleasure of the board?
And I would like to add one item. Had a request to declare a vehicle in the fire department surplus property. Would like to add that to the agenda.
All right. David?
No, sir. No, sir.
I'd like to talk about the garbage this morning and the voting and what kind of disaster assistance that we might have for the churches here in the county. I'd like to add that. Eugene?
Maybe.
Okay. Well, Tony ain't here, so need somebody to.
I make that motion with the add on.
Okay.
That was garbage.
Yeah.
Second motion.
Okay, it's been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. That motion carries. Our old minutes were emailed. I get mine this afternoon for the day. It always happens. Mail to everybody. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move with Dr. Minutes as recorded. Second.
Okay, there's been motion and second. Do we have any discussion on the old minutes before we put them in the law? If not, all in favor by the show of hands. Okay, that motion carries. Mr. Steve is on you now.
Okay. Is anybody else coming with you, Joseph?
Have a Dexter here.
Okay, if there's anybody else coming, y'all come on up then if you would. Y'all come on up to Pam and Dexter. Y'all sit around and we'll skip over to, let me find it on the agenda. Item number 15 on the agenda. I invited Joseph and Pam and Dexter to come. I think they need to be recognized. The Dooley County Recreation Department has been named the Agency of the Year by the Georgia Recreation and Parks Association, and they'll be recognized at their annual conference next month. And it's for the
Population under 20,000.
Thank you. I couldn't get it out, but I just felt like they needed to they need a little recognition for that.
They need a lot of recognition. Recognition.
We knew they were doing a good job, but evidently that's some other folks noticing they're doing a good job also.
I know they have. Y'all do an outstanding job, and Joby didn't need to keep all that good old stuff here in Dooley County. That's the only thing I gotta say. You know, we don't need to let it go nowhere because y'all doing I know about Dooley County. You ain't got to tell me about what's here. And you all just molding that stuff like it's supposed to be.
Thank you. We were, it came to us from Columbus, Americus, Thomasville, much larger cities came and they said, they said, this is the year we want the Dooley County. We believe like you would be our best representation of GRPA in our district. So I wrote about, I believe it was close to around 4,000 words. They asked us stuff about our internal and external staff development opportunities on the national, state, local level. They asked us about budgeting. They asked us about our facilities. They asked us about outstanding programs that we had. And then they asked us about major accomplishments that we've had. With GRPA, we really work hard with them. Y'all are our governing body, but they're our other governing body within recreation, and we stay busy with them with roundtable discussions, meetings, administrative workshops, maintenance field days, conferences, Carl Vinson Institute of Government Needs Assessment and Development Program. With them, this really meant a lot for us because it came from other cities and other counties that recognized what we were doing. And that's what really, it meant a lot to us because, you know, when you get recognized by Columbus and we're in Vienna, you know, that they're taking notice to us was really a nice thing. We told them about how, you know, we acted with 4-H, how we try to be role models using the head, heart, hands, and help to, with them, we've been chaperones on numerous trips. Our participation with Kiwanis Club, I'm the vice president of that. That's a national organization. The Dooley County Coalition, the Community and Schools, Family Connection, Professional Women's Club. We try to stay active in all that while also doing back to school bash and STEM nights and things like that. Also we're active on the Dooley County School Systems Literacy Council. I was put on as vice chairman of the school council, which I believe is going to be very beneficial to the rec department. We try to stay very active with the school system, but with this, it allows us to actually have some influence on where things go, how things are done, and you know, I'm going to do everything I can do with that to turn it back towards something good for the rec department, and that's ultimately the goal. With them, with the school system, with Dooley County Nutrition and the Dooley County's school. They have the program of exceptional children, which we did 2 Special Olympics with them, and we also did the dance. Mark it on your calendars that November 23rd, we're going to do a second dance with that same group. We're going to do it again in Unadilla at the community building. So we're proud of that. It asked us what kind of staff development opportunities we've had at the local level. The Dooley County EMS has helped us with the AED, Narcan, and CPR trainings. Also with the Dooley County Health Committee running the health fair. They loved hearing that kind of stuff. We, of course, told them about our football program, which is the second to none in the state. We have won a district championship every year since 2010, except for the year of COVID. And the same thing in basketball. When competing in state titles beyond the district level, we had started the soccer program during this year, which increased our female participation by 30%, which was brought up from moving from softball into track and then into soccer. We have been very fortunate to be able to help the library systems with chair yoga, and we're trying to get more kids reading. So we have a I Like to Read and Play Sports program where they can sign up and through with them because they're a rec athlete. We worked this summer with Dooley County Nutrition. We gave out 210 lunches daily during the summer months when we hosted, and that contributed to over 36,000 meals that were given out this summer from Dooley County Nutrition. So we helped out with that. We were awarded a Community Service Award from the Chamber of Commerce and Family Connection. 4-H honors with a Volunteer Appreciation Award. We have gotten a Friends of the Library Award for our participation with them. The Dooley County School System Program of Exceptional Children gave us all a certificate of appreciation for our work with the Area 11 Special Olympics. We were able to give them custom shirts, refreshments, and sponsorships for their athletes, while also doing the Night of Elegance, and they gave us the Making a Difference Award with that. And then also we were able to bring in additional counties into GRPA that we've competed against before, but they just didn't realize the benefit of being with GRPA, and we were able to add in Taylor County, Buena Vista, and Talbot County into the recreation. And so, they were really appreciative of that. And we're just trying to, spread around as much as we can and keep trying to do the most we can for these kids.
That question.
Yes, sir.
When do y'all have time to mow grass?
Well, Dexter has stepped up big with that. Being so busy with the community involvement, Dexter's taking a larger role in the maintenance.
And I say that to say this, I mean, I hear everything you're doing and the expansion of the program, and it's just great. I mean, we've never seen effort like this, never. And I appreciate y'all. I really do.
Thank you.
But I say that because the facilities, I mean, they just look great. I mean, my hat's off to you. I mean, y'all a small staff.
Thank you.
You're certainly getting a lot done.
Thank you.
Wow, if we had other facets of our government working like recreation, where would we be?
Well, we really have tried to pair up with some of these other organizations, like I say, with the school, with the community and schools, with 4-H, and you pair up with them, then you split costs, you get more participation, word of mouth gets around more, and that's been big for us. It's just trying to be big in community involvement. They love to hear that you win football championships and basketball championships, but ultimately what won this award was the community involvement.
Sure it is, and it's more than just the ball. I mean, y'all on the ground, y'all are troops on the ground working with these kids, and you don't have any idea of the influence that you have on them.
I want to say your energy and your love for your job and your love for your job, y'all's love for y'all's program and all, that's the leadership he's speaking of that you're teaching these children, is how to make the community work together with the school system, and other counties are taking your lead. That, and y'all give the credit to everywhere else, but this is a moment where I think that they're shining that light down on where it needs to be, you and your team. Because without y'all, you could have a rec program. We've had that before, but what we have is an outstanding rec program, and I think that that's worthy of comment.
And that's more than what we ever had, because I can remember when we didn't have no rec. We just sort of created our own recreation. And it was sort of tough. This is something that we always have looked forward to. And I can go back, but just sitting there thinking about Gary Bracewell and Steve English that's when they really jumped off the ground here in Dooley County. Before that, we just made up our own little stuff and did it. But I also look back at Vat Austin Lions, kind of how their rec program down there, their football, man, it made them national champion, and stuff because of that rec program that they had there. Last thing I want to say, if you've been finishing that high in basketball and track every year, that's supposed to be fun until the high school.
Well, we've been doing training with something new we've been working on. We've been working on training with our coaches with Cecil Lester. He comes in, and what we're trying to do is do a seamless playbook all the way from the rec level to the varsity level.
That's what Vat also did.
And so when you say, I probably shouldn't say this on the thing, but if it's inside play, it's Indiana. If it's outside play, it's Oregon. If it's going to the
You
left,
can't be
it's
giving away the
state.
plays, you know.
But what it is, even at a simple level, even at the 8U, the 10U, and the 12U level, that it goes straight into middle school. It's going into varsity. So we have been working on that. We want to win all the way from the seniors in high school all the way down to the
That's right.
7-year-olds. So we want to be winners.
And they work not just 8 to 5, because I know I'm the only one here that has a rec age child. But they're out there at 7 o'clock and later when the lights go out at football practice. So it's
Got soccer tonight.
Soccer tonight. First
we
day
don't
on
see
soccer.
soccer, so I will see you that we got football tonight.
And football.
Yeah, I pass by the gym, I be thinking some of the trucks, the cars been broke down in person.
Well, and I know that, just like the departments in our size counties, everything is geared to ball. And hey, I love ball as much as anybody. If one was bouncing, I want to be by it. If somebody's getting tackled, I want to be doing it. But you're bringing so much more
That's right.
than just ball to the program. Every kid don't play ball. That's why I appreciate 4-H that we have. And I mean, both of you are just doing phenomenal job with what you have.
Older
Work
people
with.
too. Yeah.
And that's why we at this table, we want to do all we can. We want to help you find money, because you have to have it. But I applaud you. I've said enough. Thank you.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
We'll get back on the agenda items here. Okay, we'll have the finance report for September. Hopefully we'll have it ready at our next meeting. Item number 3, there's a vacancy on the DFAX board. Are there any nominations? If not, we'll keep that on the agenda. Item number 4, there's a vacancy on the Board of Elections and Registration. Are there any nominations?
Yes, I'd like to make a nomination for District 2. Hamp Jones of Pinehurst, Georgia.
Jones.
He's willing to serve.
Yes.
That's a motion.
Sure.
Second the motion.
Okay. There have been motion and second. We're gonna get into the discussion part of. Now, you say from Pinehurst?
Mhm. His brother, younger brother. Mhm.
Okay. And you're gonna do us a good job.
He's willing to serve.
Okay. You got it in your notes with it? If not, all in favor by the show of hand? That motion carries.
Okay. Number 5, we got a public hearing scheduled for the budget, so we'll skip over number 5 right now. But public hearing at 9:30 in just a few minutes, so we'll come back to number 5. Here, okay. On number 6, just a reminder about our LMIG funding for next year. We'll need to get started on that. Now that we're winding down the budget process and the millage rate process, we'll get focused on that and hopefully have some recommendations from road superintendent, or public works director, Rodney Hare, what we might could use that money for next year, but we'll keep that on the agenda.
Well, Mr. Steve, let me ask you then. I might be jumping out of turn, but the roads that we talked about, and I'm going back to the gravel and the dirt.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that we don't know how much we can do until all of this is.
We don't know how much, but we've already started, they've already started delivering some of the gravel to the public works department. And we've got y'all prioritize 4 or 5 different roads, I forget. So that as Rodney has time, he'll start working on trying to get the gravel on those roads. And then we'll see how far the gravel goes.
Okay.
That's all we can do at this point.
And that that's all for next year. It won't be. Are we going to be able to make it this year?
The gravel's getting paid out of the LME money we've already received.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. All right.
item number 7. There was supposed to have been a meeting down in Tifton yesterday, the day before yesterday, Tuesday, on House Bill 581, which is the legislation that passed during the 2024 Georgia General Assembly and could have significant changes to the property tax and local sales tax system. But due to the recovery effort going on after storm, they canceled that meeting in Tifton. There will be an online webinar in 2 weeks on Wednesday, October the 16th, and that will be available. We'll have it here if y'all would like to come and watch that here. I'll be watching it, and I think our tax assessor, our appraiser, Derek, will be here, and our tax commissioner may actually even sit in on it also, but y'all are invited to sit in if you'd like also.
ACCG sent out
At 1 p.m., right?
Yes, sir.
a frequently asked question document and all on it yesterday. I guess everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And then the ACCG fall district meeting for us is scheduled later in the month, October 30th up at Omaha. And if you haven't told Linda you want to go, let her know. But who have you registered so far?
Eugene, David. I think that's it.
And me.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm working on I've met with Bird and we reviewed the contract, and I'm in negotiation with Steve Edwards with Waste Management on getting a final version of the draft contract for the garbage. Do you want to talk about garbage?
Yeah, I sort of. I'm about to get tired of folks calling me about the garbage not being picked up. It's so many discrepancies. You know, I got guy sent me some pictures. And going back to what I said, I didn't know they were gonna pop up about living on the dirt road and not having a place to put the garbage can and can't put it in the driveway. And then the comment was made to me that the garbage department said that they don't go up in nobody's driveway, and they're not finna go pick up his trash. So I don't like that kind of stuff. You know, we need to try to work together before we sign this contract. We having too many headaches
When you say
behind this.
garbage department, did the person talk to the county staff, or do they actually get directly beyond that and talk to the company? Because that makes a big difference in how we address that.
Yeah, and I did sort of mention that. You know, it's sort of like
I mean, if it's our people, we have direct control over it.
but
If it's
Yeah.
not our people, then we need to deal with that in the negotiation.
and I told him, because see, I found out that when all of them was here at the meeting, and the comments were made. Sometimes we don't have no control over what they might want to do, but still we need to get to the bottom line of what's going on. And the simple thing, he said that he a taxpayer, and if they're not gonna pick up his trash, he'll just burn it, and then we don't bill them. So we need to, and then most of the time it's just a lack of communication and trying to get things, squared away. So, like I said, he sent pictures and stuff, and what do we do? He said he doesn't have no shoulders on his road, and the right of way too small. And if we put the garbage can in the road in the driveway, then how the school bus gonna get up there and turn around? So
Well, I think you have to take this as in several levels. The first level is what was being done, what changed,
that's right.
can it go back to that level without reinventing the wheel? And if not, then what remedy do they propose, and are they aware of it, and is that acceptable?
Well, it's the labor, and every bid we got was using the arms.
Mhm.
And people in that situation, and I don't know that, I hadn't seen the picture, but
I got him here on
there's
the
some on
phone.
state highways, same
Right, where
thing.
you can't put the,
The man riding on the back of the truck would walk down
2 feet.
in, pull it to the road, dump it, put it back. These one-arm machines are not capable of doing that.
and it's not safe to put it on the side of the road because there's no shoulder.
So the truck's right, they're not going to turn into the driveway to position the arm. So there was, in any of the bids, there was no remedy to,
Look at me showing pictures.
to that situation.
Do we have an idea, I'm throwing this out there, do we have an idea of how many situations this is? Is it 100? Is it 10? Is it
I've got a
1,000?
different situation of, I'm glad other people are getting garbage calls now, but
Right.
I have a different
Yeah, weigh me out with
situation
it.
of, now the people with the arms either are in too big of a hurry or aren't trained, because
That's-
now
yeah.
we've got garbage,
All
I
over
got
the
it at my house. You got garbage out they're shaking it, dumping it, now the garbage is all out on the.
Yeah.
The bags of the still being left. Right. They had a complaint
Or
about
they
that.
set the can down and it falls down the ditch.
Just like those cans you got in that picture right there, they're not even made to be picked up.
Mhm.
It's just-
Some of them
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
be turned a
That's the whole
certain
Dudley
way.
County can.
Shall we have them come back to another meeting?
Cause
I mean, we have
I ain't
their
too particular about
questions.
signing a contract till we iron all this stuff,
Okay.
because I
Well,
don't know what's
we
gonna
have
happen
copies
afterwards.
Pretty soon is what I'm afraid, and so we need to, rather than holding up on that, we need to communicate what we expect and see if they can meet those expectations and give them a chance to do it before we sign the contract, is what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
They had the same problem with the rest of
My
them.
question of that is, what's the alternative to not signing the contract? Was it-
I don't know. Because
If
you're
you
gonna have the
don't-
same problem with the rest of them.
Well,
And then it's more money.
they need to work that out, and then this won't be an issue about even signing the contract.
Well, let's get a list of what the complaints are.
But even with that, Mr. Berg, they could have sent a truck, and they could have just sent a. You said something earlier back in a year ago about a pickup truck. That pickup, yeah,
They will run them down dirt roads.
and
Again, we're getting to the solution versus what all the problems are. If
Yeah.
there's one problem with you, another problem with you, and there's probably other problems with other people.
Yeah.
Let's find out what the problems are. Let's get a list of what those are. We can add to it, but let's give them a list of what the problems are and say, this is what our issue is. And then if we look at the issue and we say that they can't meet those, then we can just tell them we can't, what we're gonna do next. And that's your point. Where are you gonna go after this?
Nowhere, because we're fixing to approve this budget in 15 minutes, and that contract is this budget is pending that contract.
well,
And we
We're at the 11th hour.
would have the same equipment on another contract at more money. So I agree, we need to tell them our issues. I'm writing them an email today of the issues with trash out on the road. But I don't think that's in the contract negotiation.
well, the only thing I'm saying, we just need to straighten it out or whatever. We can say everything we can say, but if it's still gonna be problems that we should have, and the only thing I'm saying, we hadn't had these problems in the past. Maybe they need to go back with putting the man on the back or something or whatever. And like I said,
I agree. I think their labor shortage is their problem, but I see them
I heard
sometimes
that.
running into.
Yeah.
So
Just
what's,
in the area, they ain't having area everywhere. A
Uh,
problem everywhere. You gotta think they doing some good somewhere.
Well, it might be.
I'm saying, in my neighborhood, I'm just saying, in town, I be watching them. If the people turn the trash can the right way, they tell them. Half of them just have them turned the wrong way, and when they dump it, the lid be in the way, and it would break the lid every time. But if they just do it the right way, they send out a thing telling you put the wheel toward the.
and turning it the right way is
It make
not
a difference.
anything new.
Yeah.
Because when I lived in town, it had a certain thing on the can that said how to,
But it's backwards now. You have to do the opposite of
Yeah.
that now.
but I mean, it's just learning and all that. But I want to say this, that Tony Lester this morning is an answer to prayer, because we prayed that he would get here safely. We didn't know it'd be today.
That's why he prayed so long, Tony.
Oh, good then. Thank you.
But again, y'all talking, but these folks, I mean, let me ask you this: do they live on dirt roads in your town, in your deal? Okay, then. Well, this guy here lives on a dirt road, don't have no show. Okay, then.
But I'm saying the same other people we talking
Yeah, but,
about.
but
Don't have to
when
go
you-
down that same dirt road.
When you do a contract, you supposed to have all those issues right there. All that's supposed to be worked out.
I understand this.
Yeah, I mean, and like Burke said, we let this present the all our differences and stuff and see can they work it out.
So what's the next step in the process?
I mean, I send him an email with the problem of this particular, I mean, let them know the issue. I talked to a lady at Waste Management first of the week, and they act like they want to help, and they resolve that issue first of the week. But just tell them what that problem is, and if it's a continuous thing, then escalate it. But give them a chance to make it right, and let them come up with a solution to that, man.
Well, see, what I've been doing, every time they would call me before I try to micromanage anything, I call Steve and tell Steve to run it by them, so that they can try to, straighten it out before it get to the point where, it seems like we ain't trying to do anything. And, it just, I
So
don't
this has
know,
been going on.
with different people. Yeah, I mean, and this situation right here been going on for a minute. It's been over a month, he said, since this garbage had been, picked up or whatever. We either, that's why I say we need to do something before we sign a contract. But whatever we need to do, we need to do.
All right, well, it's 9:30. We need to have our public hearing on the proposed budget. Go back to that item, number 5. And we got a copy of the budget that was advertised in the paper. So at this point in time, we advertised a public hearing to receive public comments on the proposed FY 2024-2025 budget. The general fund budget totals a total of $15,736,000. The SPOS fund budget totals $2,733,251. Is there anybody here to make any comments on the proposed budgets? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. The floor is open for a motion to officially adopt the 2024-2025 general fund budget in the amount of $15,736,000 and the SPOS fund budget in the amount of $2,733,251.
Make the motion.
That's it.
It has been motion and second. Do we have any discussion on it? I do. Now, this is the budget that we worked on all throughout the last couple of months, right? Okay. But let me ask you this, in that budget, I'm all right. I'm through with my discussion. I could talk about something else. I'm through with it. I'll leave that alone. Okay. All in favor by the show of hand? That motion carried.
Okay. We run a little ahead. Bill, are you,
Yes, sir.
got your, you all,
Yes, sir.
all right, you and the quad come on up. Oh, you brought other support, okay.
Yes,
good
sir.
deal, Good deal.
Well, good morning, y'all. We always appreciate the opportunity to meet with y'all. We wanted to come this morning. Next week is National 4-H Week, and we just kind of wanted to let Quad kind of share some things with y'all that he's got going on at 4-H. And I'll say up front, I'm very proud of what Quad does, and I'm very proud of the young people that we have. They're actually doing some really amazing things. And I think if you really look into what's going on here, there's a lot to be proud of. The young people are going to be our future. And I feel like we're preparing them well to be leaders in the future. And that's part of what Quad does. And I really appreciate what he does. I'm going to put a plug in for Quad. 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, Quad decided to host an event in Dooley County called Breakfast with the Squad. And it's to unify Dooley County High School with Fullington Academy, and we're actually doing that
October 18th.
October the 18th. We'll be meeting in Unadilla. We'll have breakfast with the 2 football teams and coaches and other community leaders. We'd love for y'all to be present if you choose to. I think it's a worthwhile event that I think you will find is very positive for our community. I appreciate Quad doing that, and I just think the community support has been overwhelming, and we appreciate it. If y'all would decide to come, we welcome you.
What time?
We're still working out the time.
Okay.
If you'll let me know, I'll make sure they all know about it.
Yes, sir. And I'll let Quad.
All right, good morning. I want to say, thanks for having us this morning. Again, National 4-H Week is across the whole country on next week. Some things that we're going to have take place here in Dooley County. On Sunday, we're going to have the hanging of the 4-H banner at the downtown square. They'll hang the whole entire week. We're going to do a community cleanup. The kids on fall break on Monday, so guess what? We're going to get them up and get them out to clean up the community on Monday morning.
Really?
Wednesday,
Wow.
Yes, sir. Wednesday is Brandon 4-H Street Day, so we're going to give back to some of our donors here in the community. And Friday is 4-H Day at the rally, so we're going to get to have some fun, eat some great food on Friday at the Georgia National Fair. The breakfast with the squad, again, that was something that I had that I wanted to combine both schools. So guess what? I work with both school systems here in the county. So this year, we're going to have 2 guest speakers. We have Mr. Fort Valley State coming to talk, and we also have a former University of North Carolina football player that's going to come talk to the boys. So this year, I think it's going to be a great year. I'm looking forward to hosting it one more year. That's it.
And they would like the board to pass this proclamation declaring it 4-H Week in Dooley County to coincide with the National 4-H Week. And it says, whereas the young people of Georgia and Dooley County are our greatest natural resource, and whereas the 4-H program has assisted in the growth and development of Georgia and Dooley County youth for 114 years, whereas adult volunteer leaders and advisors are devoting their talents, leadership, and resources to serving these leaders of tomorrow. And whereas 4-H helps its members discover and acquire the essential elements of positive youth development, of mastery, generosity, belonging, and independence in the areas of leadership, citizenship, healthy living, and science. And whereas Dooley County is Georgia 4-H and entices young people and adults to become involved in the educational and entertaining programs offered by the 4-H program in Dooley County through the University of Georgia College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Cooperative Extension. Now, therefore, the Board of Commissioners of Dooley County do hereby declare and proclaim the week of October the 7th through the 12th to be Dooley County 4-H Week, and urge all our citizens to assist in according this observance the attention and importance to which it so rightly is entitled. Is there a motion to adopt that?
Oh, the motion. to adopt proclamation is written.
I accept, Mr. Chairman.
All right, it has been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. Okay,
Mr. Chairman, can we ask one, or can they introduce our
I
guest?
just, I'm gonna ask that.
Yeah.
They wanna know who that is,
Who
yeah.
young people are.
Yeah.
Davis Bennett, Kiesha Gaston, and Kamora Odom. These some of our most active high school kids.
Okay.
All right, all right, yeah,
There's two copies there.
yeah. I know one of them sort of good there, but, yeah, but the rest of them, I know the parent, yeah, yeah.
And we got there's two copies of this one around, one to give to Quad and one for Lemon to keep for the minutes, so.
I like that about the breakfast.
Yes, sir.
I think that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing.
They been in with you for, how many, 4 years, 3 years?
They've been with me since 5th grade.
Okay.
No, that's good.
Yes,
See,
sir.
that's something me and your brother tried to do.
Juniors.
When Quad goes and gets them, he gets them young and brings them on through, don't
You gotta raise them up.
he? That's right. You haven't, you are
She
certainly
put
having
this
an
pen
impact.
in front of me every meeting.
You think it'd be clean?
Yeah, she playing. It'll sign my first name, won't sign my last name.
Yes,
Yeah.
that, just give that to Quad, that's your copy of the proclamation. And thank y'all for y'all's,
Thank y'all, we appreciate
Good
y'all
job y'all
support.
doing.
Thanks for having us.
Hopefully y'all can make it to the breakfast with the squad. I think it'll be a worthwhile event for y'all. It has been in the past. And kind of like my granddaddy always told me, he said the beauty about doing good work is you get to do more of it. I'm really proud of what Quad and young people have accomplished. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Scotty, I know we were a little early, but come on up. I invited Scotty to come, just to give y'all an update on the Dooley County branding project. And they actually have a copy of the taglines in front of them. So
Okay,
if you-
okay. So, we had our meetings, and if you've had a minute to look at that tagline, some, there's some in there that are good ideas, and then there's some in there that I think people just throw something down. So, I mean, and that's fine. So we'll sift through all that and see what we can shake out of it.
You're saying the bad ones weren't thought through?
They may have been thoughts. It just wasn't positive thoughts.
Well, seeing the no tax Dooley County is number one, was there a ranking on these, or how did that come?
No, there was not. It's in chronological order. So that was the last one that was put in.
You won't shoot it, right?
Quiet.
You want.
Right. Yeah. The one I did for our committee was I sent that out, and they're gonna they'll wait. They'll rank them 1 to 10, and then I'll take everybody's and add all of them up, and it'll help Caitlin look at it and say, well, this is what the committee liked, and this is what they didn't like. If it ends up with 40 points and somebody else another one has 3 points, then she knows that the committee liked the one that had the most points more.
Now, do you want to score by each one of them?
Yes, sir.
And with the lowest 1 to 10 highest?
10 being good,
Okay.
1 being not so good.
Okay.
And
Number 39. maybe.
So we get, out of the 139, we put 10 numbers down.
so you'll rank each one of them.
Oh, each one of 1 to 10.
Yes. And so it's just a weighted system. And so what it will do,
That's what he wants you to do.
you don't have to do it.
This is involving algebra. Okay. Can you help us with the math?
Too much math for him.
Oh, they're the man fucking right now. Yeah.
No, I mean, Caitlin's gonna look at her group, there's about 5 of them that's gonna be working on it. And so it doesn't, and the reason I didn't want to say, okay, just pick which you know, 10 of these that
10
you like,
want.
is because I want her to look at all of them, but some are going to just mean more to us than others. And so that's why I say it's kind of like a weighted system. It doesn't take anything off the list. It just kind of highlights some of the ones that we like more.
Is the survey still on, or is the survey?
It is right now, but it hasn't really been getting a lot of response in the last week or two, but she's going to take it down this week.
Okay.
Because it's been on for, I think, about 6 weeks now.
Okay.
And so she's about to take it down, and our next meeting's scheduled for hopefully November the 20th. If everybody can make it, that's kind of what we're shooting for right now. And that's when she'll kind of have some ideas for us on that date. And so, but I haven't reached out to the committee on that yet.
Okay.
But that's the kind of date we're looking at. But it went really well. When they had 3 people come down on September, I think it was the 10th, 11th, and 12th, and we met with a bunch of different groups and some individuals, and it was interesting. It was fun. We went and they went to each of the school buildings. They went to the county high school, the county middle school, and Fullington. Met with kids at all 3 of those. Met with the sheriff's department. Met with the road department. Unadilla and Vienna city employees. Met with them. And then, you know, there was a handful of individuals that they met with also. A couple of the mayors. But it, you know, for the most part, everybody was real positive. You know, there's not, everybody's not going to be positive about it, but not about the project, but just, you know, in general. But it's I've learned a lot of kind of like what people think, and it's been interesting, especially the kids. It was fun to watch them.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I just wanted him to come give y'all an update on the project. So,
Yeah.
Y'all got any questions? Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank y'all. If y'all know how to get a hold of me, if something comes up and y'all have any questions, let me. And I hope most of y'all filled out the survey. There's more to the survey than just this question, but this is the only one that you can kind of, the other stuff is kind of like opinion stuff, stories and whatnot. So they're going to get a lot more information than just this to go off of. But that's really the only thing. You can't really rank and put a weight on somebody's personal stories that's in this.
Right.
And I didn't share none of that stuff anyways. But that's something that Caitlin and her group will see and will put into their thought process for this.
Well, this is where the community gets a voice and where we get a pulse of what the community wants, and it builds buy-in to what you're ultimately doing, which is trying to bring economic development that'll increase jobs and tax base and all the things that are important.
That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Right. Kenny, you want to come on up? I invited Kenny, our EMA director,
Thank you.
talk about item number 16 on the agenda, Hurricane Helene. That I think, you know, by the grace of God, we were spared for the most part. We were very fortunate. It took that right-hand turn, and I feel sorry for my heart. Prayers go out to everybody that was affected by it. But just to give you a little recap, last Thursday morning, Governor Kemp declared a state of emergency for the entire state of Georgia. Then we sat in on a briefing from the National Weather Service at Kenny's office at lunchtime last Thursday. And even as late as then, in my opinion, you know, we were predicted to be right in the dead center of the track of the storm. And they kept on. What in my mind was, you know, prolonged periods of strong winds, heavy rain, extended power outages. they just kept on harping on that. So Kenny, myself, and Sheriff Peavy got together, and after that meeting, we recommended to Chairman Barron that we declare a local state of emergency in Dooley County to coincide with the state emergency. Chairman agreed to, and our emergency management ordinance gives the chairman that authority to keep us from having to call a board meeting in emergency situations. And so we declared a local state of emergency, and it included a curfew that went in effect 8 p.m. Thursday evening until Friday morning at 8 a.m. I didn't put that on here. And then that would give us the time that we could wake up Friday morning and evaluate things. And if we needed to extend the curfew, we would have been prepared to have done so. Fortunately, when we woke up Friday morning, we didn't have that period of time. So we just let the curfew expire, and we let the local state of emergency stay into effect till Monday morning. And there again, consulting with Kenny, we decided, we recommended that we just cancel the local state of emergency, and Chairman Barron agreed that's what happened. So I'll turn it over to you, Kenny.
Well, as Steve said, this time, last week, we were preparing for a storm of monumental consequences. And when it came on shore, it was a strong 3 or 4 category hurricane. It kind of did a football move. It kind of faked to the west, and then it started drifting east, which was to our advantage. And it put us, as it drifted east, it put us further away from the eye and on the left-hand side of the storm, which is considered the clean side. The right-hand side is what's considered the dirty side. That's where all the strong winds, the tornadoes, the heavy rain, that sort of thing comes from. But as he said, we were right on track. It looked like it was going to come right up I-75. But we had 3 of these briefings prior to that, and made our plans, and I think we were as prepared as we have ever been. Of course, we have been through this a number of times over the years, probably too many times, but that's not going away. We're going to continue to have these weather patterns, and all the devastation that you see on the news and television and everything, that could have very well been us. Very well been us, had it not shifted the way it did. And there are a lot of people that are hurting today and still will be for weeks and months to come. But the graphic that Steve got up there pretty much shows you the path and the brunt of the storm, and you see it just kind of moved away from us, thankfully.
As of yesterday, these are the counties that have been federally declared disaster areas. The ones that highlight in yellow.
And when there's a federal declaration, there's twofold to it, and I'll kind of use this as an opportunity to educate you a little bit for future reference. There is an IA portion of the declaration that can be declared, and that is individual assistance. And most of these counties will be eligible for individual assistance. Then there's a PA, which is public assistance. Public assistance is those funds and things that come into play for those things of public benefit, such as government buildings, bridges, roads, that sort of thing. So there's 2 separate parts, and when there's a federal declaration, it can be either or it can be both simultaneously. During the tornado that we had here in Vienna back in '99, we were declared for individual assistance and for public assistance. Both of these cover only uninsured damages. So, if you had a county building with the roof blown off and it was insured, then any uninsured cost would be an eligible expense. And there is a threshold of damages that a county has to meet in order to be part of the declaration. Fortunately for us, this time we did not have any damages that would have accumulated any amount to reach the threshold. And so, and that's where we are. But I want to thank the folks involved with the plans that we made and plans that we put in place. Everything went very smoothly. Had it went the other way and we had the storm hit, I think it would have been chaotic, but I think everything probably would have still went smoothly. The road department had their plans in place, and sheriff's department, naturally, the fire departments were standing by on alert had they been needed. The school board was involved because they had to make decisions about closing schools or being open half a day or whatever, but we leave that decision up to them, but we try to advise them with the weather forecast so they can make a educated decision on what they need to do. But everything went, I thought, extremely well, and without a doubt, we were extremely blessed.
What's the thing on the flooding coming?
Well, the flooding is over as of this morning. That was one other thing I wanted to mention. With all not only did we have 6 to 8 inches of rain here, they had even more than that up north. Well, it takes about 3 days for that falls up in the Atlanta area to get down the Flint River to Montezuma. And Montezuma is the first river gauge that gets to give us any benefit of any kind of forecast. I applaud the Chris County Power Commission because, as you know, all the way to Highway 27 bridge in Dooley County is considered part of Lake Blackshear. Well, the Chris County Power Commission controlled that, and they dropped the lake drastically. They dropped it drastically, and they made a hole for our local water to go. And then we had 2 or 4 days waiting on this other water to come down. Just a few months ago, we had flooding situation at Drayton that had us just slightly over 20 feet, which is flood stage in Montezuma. This time we crested at 19.8, which is just under 20 feet. Normally we have 3 or 4 roads that are closed and covered with water at Drayton. This time we only had one, and that was the Drayton Woods Road. And that thing tells us several things. Since 1994, we've had a flood ordinance in place, and it's working. Because, and I don't want to belittle anybody's inconvenience, but these floods that we're having now are kind of floods of inconvenience. Folks have got water in their yards, but they're not having any property damage. And they may leave and go to a friend's house or a motel or whatever, spend a night or two, and then they're right back in their homes. They can get back in there. And so what we're doing down there as far as mitigation is, as far as I see, it's working. I wish we could get a better handle to be able to do a better prediction of what the results will be, but y'all have heard me say this many times, that we can have 2 identical crests in Montezuma, and that's the only gauge that we've got to go by. But we can have 2 identical crests. Let's just say it crests twice in a row at 20 feet. We'll have different results at Drayton every time because there's so many variables. How much debris did the last storm bring down the river to cause a blockage? What did the Power Commission do? Did they lower the lake? Did they not lower the lake? Did they lower it enough? Did they not lower it enough? Did they not lower it soon enough? So a lot of variables. And just like this particular small flood, it crested and it just kind of hung there. because it crested, and we didn't have any water start dropping till late yesterday afternoon. And this morning, we were able to open up Drayton Woods Road to traffic. So we've been very fortunate. There's 2 other disturbances out there that are working. It'll probably be next Friday before we see anything from those, but it looks like if they do develop into tropical storms or hurricanes, they're going to go across the lower third of Florida. And we may or may not get some rain off of them, but it's what it's looking like now, and it's a long ways off, but doesn't look like that we're going to get a whole lot out of it.
Okay. I went down to the lake, and my pastor asked me, where did the water go? He said, where did the water go? And I knew about the dam and all that kind of stuff. So does that water that when they drain the lake, now where does it exit to?
Well, water flows downhill, so the next stop is Albany.
Okay.
Next stop is Albany. And in floods past, the management seemed to have held back the water, trying to keep it off Albany, and it made more problems for us. But yeah, when they turn that water loose, it goes downhill and it goes to Albany. But but they're doing in my opinion, they're doing a lot better, and they're a lot more proactive about managing the lake now.
I think they've got better records with the number of events we've had. They got better records to know. Like I say, every one of them different, but at least they have somewhat of a record to say, well, 8 years ago we had this, and so I think they do have. And there was some construction, I think, down there at the dam that was done a little different, where you could bridge it and go around it.
Well, they've got 18 inches above normal pool to play with. When the lake is normal, there's 18 inches. Once it has an 18-inch rise, they have no control over it. It goes over the spillway.
That's a huge volume of water over that space of acre.
Yeah, I've been asked the question.
Some of them.
One more thing that I will mention is right down there, we kind of got a twofold problem. We got the river, and then we got Turkey Creek. And the folks on the Turkey Creek side, most of the time, they will flood first, and they got water in their yards right now. A lot of them are having to use a boat to get from the mailbox to the doorstep, but they're able to stay there if they're willing to do that. But when the river is full, like it is now, the creek water has nowhere to go. It can't dump into something that's already full, so it backs up, and that's generally what happens is it backs up and it floods those areas first. The next place we can look is for it to come across there at the gas line where Drayton Loop and Drayton Woods intersect, and then once Gum Pond fills up, then we start having problems around the whole area. But anyways, thank y'all for y'all's support. I hope that this is the last storm of the season.
Yeah. Now, when you talked about the IAPA, whatever you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I know environment, and that's one of the things I had on my list. A tree fell right there by the church, and they got the power line pulled down across the road, going down to the other churches and other people that live down there. Are there any public assistance, or do we have any assistance that can help move that tree? Because I really, and I hadn't talked with nobody about it, but to get that tree removed, by the church and stuff, off the church.
Is the tree on the power line?
On the power line.
Ain't nothing to be done till the power company does their thing.
Okay, and I think they don't.
The power company will remove it from the line, then it's and Mr. Robinson can speak to this better. It's the landowner's responsibility at that point. And then your question is, since the landowner's church, is there any money from the county?
Yeah, any kind of assistance that could, then we can help. I'm gonna push, that tree been down ever since the sun came through. They won't let a line be down that long. With it, across that road. Can't nobody use the road to go down, they got barrels and a truck.
Two issues. The issue is how long the power company's gonna leave it down, and then the other issue is when we're gonna get this removed. And I think his question to you was IA money, individual assistance, does that float inside?
We hadn't met the threshold to qualify for any IA money.
So nowhere in Dooley County,
That would be individual assistance, and this would fall more toward the PA side, but no, we don't qualify
so
for that.
this is a public assistance project that would have to be, the whole county was cleared.
Yeah.
I seen some pictures.
They can't, they got barrels out there, so nobody can go down. I'm just-
What I hear him saying to your question regarding the assistance that's available, PA, public assistance would be for if there's a county-wide declaration, which there's not and we're not going to get.
Right.
And the particular problem you described falls into the category of what would be covered under a public assistance portion. The individual assistance would be toward individuals, even in a county like ours that hasn't been declared. Is that right?
No, the county would have to be declared, and then it could be declared for
Okay, so, and without the
PA or both.
Okay, so without the county declaration, neither one of those, PA or IA, are available.
And
Is that right?
That's right. And then the other issue is it blocking the road? It's blocking a county road.
Oh, no, it's inside the city limit.
Oh, it's inside the city limit. Well, that would be for them to clear their road. If it's a road
So
that's
there's no
being
other
blocked.
program, to assist them. And I'm just trying to come up with something to try to, try to help.
Nothing more than if the county, wanted to assist the city, to get it removed. So, but at that point, you mentioned it's in the city. I mean, it's a city issue.
Yeah, and I sort of figured that would be, but sometimes, there might be programs out there where, you might can assist somebody, into,
Right,
this is a church
right.
and moving stuff like that,
What I hear is
But
there's
is
no
it in
federal.
a power line?
It's on the power,
Power company's gonna,
the line is still down across the road.
The power line?
The power line is across the road.
Is it Georgia Power or
I don't
EMC?
It's gotta be Georgia Power. Because it's out of the city limit.
Does anybody?
Now, whether they don't disconnect the power line or not, I don't know.
They probably gonna cut it loose, but they should have got it out the road. They just ain't gonna leave a
I wish
hot
somebody
line
could
across
take
the
a picture,
road.
because I looked at it yesterday. It was, the line was still there.
What road?
And they had a truck,
Oh,
they had
street.
2 barrels, then they had, somebody had parked a truck right across, so nobody wouldn't try to go down through there.
what I hear his answer to be, there is no federal money available, there is no state money available because we're not declared a countywide disaster. So it would have to be local money. Either the county gave some money to the city to assist in removing it, which is another whole question of legality and the practicality of it. And then the city, whether or not they have the staffing, and they don't have the staffing.
They don't have staffing.
To remove it. So there's where your issue lies. But then there's a third part of this that's more, probably the first part of this is why the power company hasn't done its responsibility.
That's what I could,
And so I think we need to go with the power company first, because until the power company moves that line, nobody can move the tree. Right?
I guess not, because I
That's the
wouldn't.
way it work now, but like I said, they ain't gonna leave in that road if it's hot.
Has Georgia Power been notified?
Yeah, somebody called Georgia Power.
I mean, let's get back to the very beginning. It's hard for me to believe that Georgia Power would leave a hot line, a tree in a hot line out there.
What did they do?
And that may be cut off. And
Maybe.
it
That's
may
what I'm
not
saying. I
prevent
think they
that.
don't cut it off.
Yeah.
And then the line is still, I mean, I don't know. I can't say.
But if it's a line, if it's a tree across a line, most of the time Georgia Power or whatever power company, they will remove enough of that tree to get their line back up.
They will.
And
They may leave the tree laying in the middle.
But
And-
if-
and
but
they
if-
ain't gonna telephone and the cable drop and all that. They're gonna stay there.
what is beyond that
Maybe
point?
what's
You said
down.
a church?
Yeah, the people live down there.
Oh, okay.
It's a church there. They hit the first church there off of 230 and Church Avenue. That big old tree just fell across the line and carried across the road.
And those people don't have power yet?
They got power back up. That's why I said the line must be cut loose.
Okay, okay, I got
Maybe
you
that
now.
cable TV, telephone.
Yeah, the line must be cut loose.
But
They-
nobody's without power, so the power company ain't coming back out.
Yeah, cause I remember we went down there and for, I think it was Monday or whatever, they would say they finally eventually got power back. My question was then why is the line still across the road?
Well, do you know it is a power line or is it a
I
cable
don't
TV?
know. I didn't get close
You
enough.
didn't-
to
you
that.
didn't touch it?
No,
If
I
it was
couldn't.
You didn't touch it?
No, I wasn't there. No, that's why I haven't been. I'm too old to get electrocuted. I already done been down that road once. I ain't going down that road.
Whether you were shocked, because if you're electrocuted, you'd be dead.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Wait a minute, Kenny. Hold on there. Just
That's it. Get
back
back here.
to item number 14. Before the hurricane was even on our way, we got a notice from Red Cross just sort of letting us know what they'd done. And basically, they're giving us the contact for the Central Midwest Georgia chapter of the Red Cross.
Red Cross over the years has restructured many times, and it's all about volunteer numbers going down and trying to cut costs at the top, and that's what has brought about their restructuring, and they're restructuring, and then they're restructuring what they already restructured. But we do not have an active Red Cross chapter in Dooley County, but they still cover us. And anytime that we have an event like this that's approaching, they always get in touch with me, and they generally send Steve a notice so that we'll know if we need them, who to contact, how to get services from them. One thing that they do, and they mention this, is that if we have what they call a single family fire, and we have people that get burnt out and they don't have any place to go, and Red Cross can come in and they assess that situation, how many people are in the family, what age the people are, adults, children, whatever, and they try to provide a limited amount of lodging, maybe 2 or 3 nights, to get the people back on their feet. If clothing is necessary, they give them a gift card or something like that, but where they can go to Walmart or somewhere and get clothes if they lost everything. And it's just they come in and do that just to get people by until they can kind of get their bearings and get on their feet. And so that happens in Dooley County a good bit. So Red Cross is an asset. It's out there, even though we don't have a chapter locally. We are within the Central Midwest Georgia chapter, and they still look after us.
Okay. And hold on, Kenny, one more thing for you just to sit in on. Now that we officially adopted our budget, as everybody knows, I'm assuming you're still planning on retiring December 31st. You hadn't changed.
Well, that isn't in stone based on, where y'all are. I'm not going to leave y'all in a lurch, but I ain't going to be here another year.
Right. So now that we're in the budget, we had budgeted and sort of tentatively planned for Don Williford to assume the duties of EMA director and fire coordinator. And
In addition to his current
in
role.
addition to the EMS director. Don, I was hoping Don could be here, but he had a family matter he had to take care of today. So, and I had started trying to contact the guy from GEMA, Jason
Ritter,
because we learned, we sort of pick who we want to be our EMA director, but GEMA has to sign off on that person. When I started trying to contact Jason about, I got no response. I contacted Kenny, and he's moved on. He's no longer with GEMA. So I got the new contact, our temporary contact for GEMA, middle of last week. Well, with the hurricane, I figured he might have a little bit more important things. So I reckon, do y'all want to to sort of make it somewhat official, tentatively appoint Don as come January 1, the EMA director and the fire coordinator, pending approval by GMA. I think we sort of need to start the process, and I think that would be the,
Cause they've got some transition stuff probably to do. I don't know.
So you're asking
Oh,
that someone
yeah.
make that statement in the form of a motion?
make that a
I'll
motion.
offer the motion. Put that in place, pending approval from Jim.
That's it.
There has been motion and second. Do we have any other discussion on it before we put it in the law? If not, all in favor by the show of hands.
And I just want you to be aware, and I'll get with Don, let him know, and then he'll start getting with you to start trying to. It's gonna take a while, and we understand that, but we had hoped to be further in the process, but we are where we are, so
Okay.
thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, back up to item number 10 on the agenda. At the last meeting, we had a public hearing on a rezoning request for 4 parcels in the Campers Haven area. Held the public hearing, had discussion, and the matter got tabled to today's meeting, so what's the board's? Come up, Glenn, in case they have any questions from you regarding the Robinsons have requested that those 4 parcels that are currently zoned multifamily residential be rezoned to agriculture. The planning commission also held a public hearing. Now, they recommended that the county commissioners approve it, but they recommended a condition that to be a sort of a buffer zone of 150 foot where no hunting with high-powered rifles would be done. In theory, I think that sounds good, but I think in reality, we don't have the authority to enforce that.
So where are we on
They were waiting on
It
to
got
see what
tabled.
you
We're
said.
waiting.
this? And we,
Yeah, we saw it.
And they want to continue to rezone.
I offer the motion this morning that we, grant the Robinson their rezoning request based on recommendation from our board, that this be rezoned to ag.
okay, with or without the condition that the board put on there regarding the buffer, because.
Yes, their recommendation, so that's what I'm
The
trying to
complete
cover. They
recommendation.
did that, we did.
Okay. But we're about to.
Yeah, yeah.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Had been motion and second. Do we have any discussion on it before we go?
Well, in the form of discussion, I think it's very clear with the people in the community. I think the first thing that triggered this is when the signs were stuck in the ground, as it always does, you know, and they're looking for big change. And, I don't know how you could hold these folks to a different standard for trying to do the right thing, where the majority of people in the county don't do the right thing. So, you know, I applaud them and you know, wanting to do it this way, you know. I think we've learned a lot about who's on the property. They didn't just get here. They've been here, unbeknown to me, you know, and, that's in my district, but they, you know, the thing that really hit home with me was, you know, hey, this is a family that's in city area or larger area, wanting something different, you know, for the grandkids and let them experience a small community way of life, rural way of life. And I don't see any reason to try to hold them to a standard that no one else is being held to.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. All right. All in favor by the show of hands? That motion carried.
Thanks, sir.
I wanted to pay it then. 2 weeks ago.
Item number
I would, but
11.
I just outbrained myself last time. Thank you, Cooper.
This is carried over from last meeting, and like I said, I hope Don could have been here, but he couldn't. And he's okay if y'all defer this to the next meeting so he can come talk to y'all about it. But he just wanted to say that, you know, naturally, he'd like to keep that ambulance fleet as current as possible. But the only thing I've added since last time, I did get the current mileage on the vehicles. Like I said, we got our oldest vehicle is a 2012. It's got 233,000 miles on it. 2016's got 172,000. 2018's got 96,533. And the 22's got 35,000 miles. So we'll keep that on the agenda till the next meeting.
So we've ordered one.
We got one order now that we ordered back in 22, but now they're saying the latest projected is delivery of May of next year.
But doesn't it lock in, this quote lock in the price?
All right, which quote?
This 10/7/24, this for the expire right here.
Well, Don's confident that we can wait till our next meeting and that quote still be valid.
Okay, because if you look up 2 years from now before that one can be, there's no telling what it costs.
And even though, back to the one we got currently ordered, this was the price they quoted us back
3 years ago.
2 years ago, almost not quite 2 years ago, but they still got to honor. They're going to honor that price.
Right. And
$30,000
that's the thing about
difference.
locking in another honor.
Right.
You won't be hunting you as much money.
Okay, item number 12, the Georgia Department of Transportation has identified 2 bridges as potential candidates for replacement under their low impact bridge program. Ones they've identified is on Heath Road at South Prom Creek and Mount Vernon Road at Camp Creek. And just to show y'all where those are, let me blow this up. This is the one on Heath Road. This is Unadilla, come out of Unadilla on Highway 230. Go down to Posey Road and then turn on to Heath Road. It's right there.
So most people go the other way. Most people turn on Posey and come out of Unadilla.
And then the one on Mount Vernon, you go out Highway 27 toward Americus. This is the Flint River. This is Highway 230 going back toward Byronville, and then turn on the Mount Vernon Road. That's they're reviewing those to see if they're eligible. They're having an online review meeting in December. So I'll keep y'all informed. This is the same program that the one on Bowen Road at that Little Pinhatchee, Sandy Mount. Bowen. It initially was identified, but due to some archaeological issues, it no longer was approved for the low impact. So it got kicked to the low impact bridge program. Is supposedly the state's fast track program.
So somebody on Heath Road puts some arrowheads out by the other one.
Now they put some turtles out there.
Moving right along.
Mr. Steve, can I add something?
Yes, sir.
No, on that.
I thought it was Ford Road.
I was
Right off.
called by one of the city councilmen about the bridge down here, so we talking about bridges. So I was thinking, and I forgot to add that to it. They wanted to know, can we assist them with some funding for that bridge down there because of the amount of cost that it's gonna cost the city of Vienna? And I told them I can't answer that question. I have to bring that before the board and see what, at least I'll bring it. Now what come out of it, I don't know. I don't know whether we can or not, but I was approached by one of the city council. They said it was called 1.7, Tim, you probably already know, 1.7 million or whatever to redo that bridge down there. And that's what we assist with some kind of funding or whatever. So I don't.
Only in kind funding for us, like no money for us, you know. We can't do no money.
Why, it's in my district.
Huh?
It's in my district.
It's in your district, but still, it's in the city. It's in the city limit.
Okay, David. But I'm telling you about it. You see what Tim said about it in the district.
It's in the city limit though. So of course we can do in kind help.
They pay your taxes.
Yeah, but
City and county.
Well, that's what was bought about it. Said
Well, that bridge will be replaced.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be on their watch, the way they want it done. Y'all remember the bridge being replaced on Weeks Road? It took a little while, didn't it?
Yeah.
Took a little while.
Out there on the other road.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
me too.
Now, how many people had to go across that bridge to get somewhere? And 2 houses down there,
Yeah.
but it got replaced. This one's gonna get
Well,
replaced,
eventually, yeah.
but there's a process. But, you know, our folks over there had not experienced this, and so they were just grasping at straws. And I understand that, because that's a major thoroughfare. But, at the end of the day, there's a process. And when you deal with government, there's a process. We know that from our LMIG money. We got to do this, have these projects by this date, or you're not gonna play a part in LMIG money with the state. Well, the process is they had to get their engineer or a engineer to basically say, yeah, we see the same damage that DOT sees here, and we project X amount of dollars to repair it. That's all it took to get it on the table. And it's on the table.
So
But-
I think with your expertise, you might need to talk with some of them and tell them how the process works.
Well, I have, but
I wonder why he called. Why they call?
Well, let me
it
say
goes in
this.
here and comes out over here.
Let me say this.
Wait, they're registered.
Let me say this as a longtime city attorney and as a county attorney, your attorney. Okay, when you've got two bodies politic communicating, it's always a good thing. But when it gets down to asking for money and resources and all that, it's a better thing to have a resolution from one body to the next to ask what you're asking for with all your ducks in a row. And so if they're asking for something, what are they asking for? Are they asking for, equipment? Are they asking for dirt? Are they asking for money? I mean, what are all they asking for? And what is their plan for what they're going to do and other resources they've got to do?
Well, they raised the millage rate on me to pay for it, I thought.
Okay.
That wasn't covering the full cost.
Well, here's the issue. We need, before you come and say, you need to help me pay for my project, we need to know what the project cost, who all's paying into it, and what is it you want us to do?
Reading between the lines, I read one comment that they've got utilities that's gonna have to be moved. That's on them.
Gas and,
That's on them. So yeah, they're gonna have a cost.
it costs some money there too.
It costs
Just
money
move
to
it.
do that. So they're gonna have that. They're gonna have that on
Is the
them.
total project 1.7 million or
1.6?
they got to
Yeah,
pay
they
it
got,
1.7 million?
That's what he told me yesterday.
I think I would say the bridge probably is, just. I
No,
mean,
I'm asking you, and I don't really know. if it's fair
Relocate
to ask
water
you that.
mains,
well, no, I would say it
$50,000.
probably is. I mean, how
Relocate
long ago it
gas
was
mains,
Weeks Road?
$50,000.
It wound up being
That's
$1.2.
$100,000 just to move them two lanes.
But they have an enterprise fund, which we do not have, because they are a municipality that has utilities where they can make money off of those, and they have budgets for those, and they have depreciations for those, and they have contingencies for those for such things as this. If those are balanced, then this should be within the projections.
And see, there's a precedent here too. They've already had 2 bridges replaced in Viennas. Of course, these guys were not, or these folks were not on the board, of the council, I should say. But there's already been a process where these two bridges have been
on
replaced.
7th Street.
Yeah.
And then on 5th Street.
Where was the county in that? We wasn't nowhere.
What about this list you just showed us? What is that? What is that?
What is what?
That bridge list you just showed us?
That's county bridges.
What are you?
That's just county bridges.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get on this list.
No, this is bigger than, the fast track. Fast track may not happen for 5 or 6 years down the road. This has got to be done before that.
And this isn't in, I mean, I know Coney Road that is not in my district, but that is affecting a lot of people. So my thing is not writing a check, but are they being proactive in fixing it, or are they sitting around waiting on the state or somebody just to come in and get it done?
They're waiting on the state to do it, and the state has been on their table. I do know that, and I can't manage what they do over there, but I can inquire, and I did that from day one with the DOT representative, and because when the DOT engineer said, well, y'all got LMIG money and you got LRA money, I said, we sure do. And we got 6 communities or towns in this county. But it bothers me that they sit there as state people not knowing the process of LMIG. I said, we don't get to count that road and this mileage through Vienna on our LMIG factor, the money we get. Wouldn't change it a whole lot, but it changes some. And they said, well, I hadn't thought about it from that standpoint.
Does the city have those funds? They got another round, didn't they?
Yeah.
Are those?
Yeah, but they don't have the mileage.
The LRA money.
Yeah,
they get the same, they get a pro rata share of all the LMIG money. They get the same LMIG money we get.
Where's that money?
I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing, they're asking for assistance or for whatever. That's the first step of assistance. Are they sitting down waiting on somebody from Atlanta to come down and do the work, or are they doing everything they can to get done? Because my thought is the project that's supposed to happen, we thought next year, might have got kicked to the next year of Coney, starts at that railroad track. What are they going to?
27. It's scheduled for 2027. I'm trying to get it moved to 2026.
But I'm on that project. How they gonna do the paving if the bridge is out?
I don't know.
Or does the bridge get added? I'm asking, can this get bumped? Can we bump it, or can we get that list bumped around because of the?
No, they don't.
Let them do it. Just
I
stop
think
it
you
before
probably-
go out.
I think you might face just the opposite of where you're going with that. What you're saying is, because what could happen is the state could look at that and go, well, there's no bridge there, there's no travel there, everyone's found another way.
Yeah, we'll take the road money and fix the bridge.
Then fix the bridge for the city and then say, worry about the road later.
Well,
What they think.
They could take the city money and do the bridge. That'd be a
Right.
good trade. But
Yeah, or they may just.
we need Coney widened and
City don't get as much money. They don't get it.
I think it begins with an official ask that comes from an official plan that would answer a lot of the questions we're asking about.
Well, from what I understand and the conversations I have had, because I can't,
You
I
can't
told them
govern
day
them.
one, we can't send a county engineer to solve your problem.
Right.
You got to hire. Y'all have an engineer, I know, when you get these loans, when you get a GFA loan, you got an engineering firm. Well, their engineering firm didn't do bridges, so they had to get another firm out of Valdosta. That's the first step. And they were told that. I told them that. And I said, you got to get it on the table in Atlanta because the clock's ticking.
Right.
Nothing's happening. You may think that call, Tulare Walker, Patty Bentley. I said, no, they're not going to DOT. They're not sitting on at the DOT board table. You got to get it on the table.
Right.
And they've done that. We know that they've done that, or I know. Now, y'all know. They've done that. But now DOT's got to put it in line for funding. And they're not going to tell you anything until is set in stone.
Right, and they're not gonna do anything to put in line for funding until they have a complete application,
And-
which means you've got to do your homework. You've got to be project ready.
But do they know what to do?
That's not our concern.
But we had to ask for money.
Well, it is our, that's the reason.
Yeah,
Well, you
but,
said
I mean, I'm saying they might need
they've
somebody to advise.
unofficially asked for money. They haven't officially asked for money.
What are they officially doing?
I don't know.
See, that's all I'm saying, you know.
The last update I got from Michael Bowens was dated July the 17th.
Is our engineer their engineer?
No.
Somebody from Valdosta is what they just said. Ours is not from Valdosta, I don't think.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know.
All right.
And so, and this was the cost estimate back in July. Now, a lot of things have changed since then.
Flip the tires and
Yeah, so
move
see,
the-
I mean, they've done, they
So
just,
what do we have left?
just move them water line and gas line.
Yeah.
And the homecoming parade.
All right. So we gonna take any action on anything, or
No.
that was just for information?
That's just information, that's all I just brought it to the table that day.
Okay, all right, okay.
They been asked me that.
Get the checkbook out.
No,
I told them, you gotta come up with a prize. You gotta
Let's
take
skip over number 13 and we'll come back to it. The only other thing on the agenda is I'll back up. Information. 18. The homecoming, the Dooley County High School Homecoming Parade is scheduled 2 weeks from today at 4 p.m. Do y'all want to participate?
election.
and I get my line run out here, man. I'm scared, that was my next question about that line stuff, but,
Yeah, that's what I want to ask when we get ready to go. Can you pull up the lines again?
yeah, I got that
Yeah,
one. Yeah, I guess we always do. Yeah, we're gonna participate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just asked a simple question. I was waiting on a simple
Yeah.
answer.
Yes.
Okay.
What line? Pull up what line?
Okay.
But
The new-
but
the new
yeah,
district.
We'll get to that in just a
yeah, I
minute.
had that. We
All
on
right.
we on the same.
Oh, you had
track.
already put it on?
Yeah, I had put it on before you got here.
And I meant to bring this up while Kenny was here, but he's requesting that this vehicle be declared surplus. It had a pumper body on the back of it. They've got an updated chassis, trucking chassis, so they no longer need this, so
I can't bid on this one.
they requested it.
that truck you saw over there.
I bid on the
we went
last
over
one.
and saw the truck.
Yeah, we got some money, but I don't think I
They
can bid
replaced
on
that
this.
truck.
Oh, did it?
So the answer
Now
is
he wanna see it.
yes.
Yes.
Need a motion,
Why you
Off of the motion that it be
Truck.
placed on.
The other
be
truck
declared
there.
surplus and listed on gov deals to be sold.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I second it.
All right, yes.
Discussion. Oh, why you said you can't participate in this?
Cause the other one, I wanted the other one for a dump truck. I was gonna put my dump bar on it.
Mm.
Well, the bid kept going up and up and up and up and up and up. I said, no, I could go buy me one for what they were bidding on.
Then I want you to bid on
Oh,
this
no,
one.
you won't. No.
So you're
You never
abstaining,
know.
motion second.
Yeah.
You discussed.
No.
Y'all
Yeah, we just in the
He's talking
discussion
about
part
bidding,
now.
not voting.
Yeah, that's all.
That's what
Nah, I ain't
declaring
gonna-
this surplus.
Yeah, okay.
That's what was on
Get
the
a
table.
good deal on this.
You get a second.
I got a second.
All right. We had it all in favor by the show of hands. No.
All right. I would like to request an executive session to discuss the
Potential litigation.
potential litigation.
Yes.
I'll let you know if anything's done, Tim. Thank you, sir.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for discussion of potential litigation.
I said,
Yeah, the motion and second, all in favor by the show of hands. That motion carries, so we're now in the executive.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of executive session as read in executive session.
I said,
There's been motion and second. All in favor by the show of hands. That motion carries.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
That's it.
Is that it?
All
Well,
right.
I have a
But-
couple of
Oh, you
things.
Vote on that?
next week, we're in the process of, we did receive applications for those 3 positions. So at the next board meeting, we hope to have had the interviews and can make the recommendation to the board.
Okay.
Second thing is, I had a question. Kenny Calhoun, he's retired at the end of December. Now, do we want to do the same thing that we've done for everybody else? Give him the $200 and the plaque?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. And I think that was it.
What
Oh,
were the
was it?
positions?
Position, motor grader, service support, and equipment, equipment,
And you got somebody
Operator.
for all 3.
yeah,
Qualified?
yes, few of them is qualified. So, right.
So we got, how many applications you get? More than 3?
Well, we got 10, but you actually go through them and eliminate to see who's qualified or not. But we got about 10.
You got 10.
Yeah. It'll work. I know it'll work out.
Pick up for none.
Right. But Steve, I know I forgot to talk about the equipment.
Oh, did y'all
Don't we have a motor grader that's down?
Huh? Do we have a motor grader that what?
That's down, that's towed.
See, I'm learning.
Oh,
The new one?
We don't have one.
Yeah, because we don't have a driver.
No, they said, man, somebody sent, showed me a picture of one that have the new motor grader was. I said, I know you're joking. Was out of commission. I was gonna ask that. We don't have a motor grader that's down.
Not that I know of.
Initially, it had, it did have an electrical, because they run off of a joystick. But I think they, I was told they got it fixed within a couple of days.
Well, I don't know where that picture that come from.
Was it one of it in a ditch?
Probably AI.
It might could have been, they were saying that it
Now,
was.
they got it stuck out by my house.
and
Off in the hole.
Boy, I tell you, with them millionaires are, boy, I tell you what, always,
now, on Sylvester Granville, did y'all decide not to do anything on him?
what you talking about?
Not the
Or
food.
y'all gonna send him a
No,
letter?
let's adjourn.
All right,
Let's
let's
adjourn.
adjourn.
I'm just asking.
Let's adjourn.
Yeah, okay.
I make most of it, Jerry.
Okay, the meeting over. There's been motion and second, all stand up and left.
Like that.